Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. In the last class, we were discussing about the refraction from spherical lens. We were discussing the ray diagrams in the case of concave lens and convex lens, right? Okay. So while we are discussing about the refraction from a concave lens and convex lens, we are following three rules and a table. In the case of convex lens, we have three rules. Can you recall the three rules quickly in the case of convex lens? Ashik, the rules for
Yes, ma'am.
convex lens.
Light passing through the principal axis
Passing parallel to principal axis.
diverges.
Yes, it is in the case of concave lens. I think so. Okay, it is diverges away from.
Principal focus.
Yes, it is diverges away from principal focus. So in the case of concave lens, we have three rules are there in order to draw the ray diagram. The first rule is said by Ashik is right. That is the ray of light coming parallel to principal axis. After the refraction, it is diverges away from the principal focus. Why? Because our concave lens is a diverging lens. Okay. All of you please switch on your video. Nirubama, can you recall the second rule? Second rule.
The ray of light that is passing through principal focus.
Okay.
Refraction passes through principal.
Yes, the ray of light that is appears to passing through principal focus. After the refraction, it is passing parallel to principal axis. Good. Okay, then next one, Haynes Steve. The third rule for concave lens.
Light passes.
Hmm.
After the refraction, it passes through optic center itself.
Yes, the ray of light that is passing through optic center, it will emerges through the optic center itself without any deviation. So here we have three rules which is exactly same in the case of a convex lens except the first rule. Because in the case of convex lens, the first rule is this: the ray of light that is coming parallel to principal axis, after the refraction, it is converges to a particular point or converges to principal focus, or it is passing through principal focus. But in the case of a concave lens, the first rule says that the ray of light that is coming parallel to principal axis, after the refraction, it is diverges away from the principal focus because concave lens is a diverging lens. And in the case of concave lens, we have only two cases at which we can place the object. What are the two different positions at which we can place the object in the case of concave lens? Afsana, what are the two different positions at which we can place the object in the case of concave lens? Yes?
At infinity.
Yes, very good. At infinity. Then second position.
Between infinity and optic center.
Very good. Between infinity and optic center. At infinity and between infinity and optic center. When you place the object at infinity, I will show the image once again, then it is more clear to you. I will show the slide. After that, we can explain the same. Ray diagram for the concave lens. Okay, so this is the two ray diagrams for the concave lens. In the first case, we are placing the object at infinity. In the first case, we are placing the object at infinity. Okay, suppose you imagine here we have the infinity lines are there. So in the first case, we are placing the object at infinity. If you place the object at infinity, that is here. We are placing the object here. This is our infinity line. And then we are placing the object here, AB. Then the ray of light that is coming from A, that is coming parallel to principal axis. What happens to this ray of light after the refraction? It is diverges away from principal focus. Okay. Similarly, another ray of light is coming, that is coming parallel to principal axis. After the refraction, it is diverges away. This is our principal focus. Instead of converges to this principal focus, it is diverges away from the principal focus. So this is the first ray diagram. This is our principal axis. And here the two rays of light is coming parallel to principal axis. The rays of light is represented with the help of arrow marks. So after the refraction, it is diverges away from the principal focus. So we get the image here in the focus F1 that is on the same side of the lens. Now the second case, we can say that the object can be placed anywhere between infinity and that of the optical center of the lens. In the second case, we can place the object anywhere between infinity and optic center. So we are placing our object here. Anywhere between here, this is our optic center and this is our infinity. Between infinity and optic center, we are placing the object here and representing it with the help of AB. Then the ray of light that is coming parallel to principal axis. After the refraction, what happens? The same rule, it is diverges away from principal focus. Then the second ray of light that is passing through optic center, after the refraction, it is emerges through the same point without any deviation. So these two rays of light are coincide here. So we get the image here that is between F1 and optic center. And you just compare the size of the image. What about the size of the image? This is our image and this is our object. What about the size of the image and size of the object? Which one is greater? Image size or object size? Which one is greater? Yes. Does the size of the image or size of the object is greater? This is our image. This is our object. Which one is greater?
Object.
Object is greater in size as compared to that of the image. So we can say the image formed is diminished in nature. It is small in size as compared to that of the size of the object. Okay. And we get virtual and erect image in the second case. We get a virtual and erect image. So I hope the two cases of the concave lens is clear for you, right? In the two cases, we get virtual and erect image. And here in the two cases, we get the diminished image when we are using the concave lens. And the image is formed on the same side of the lens. Image is formed on the same side of the lens. In both cases, we get the image on the same side of the lens. That is, where we are placing the object, at that place itself, we get the image. Here we have our object. At the same side, we get the image. Similarly, here also we place the object here and we get the image on the same side. Clear? In the case of concave lens, in both cases, we get the image on the same side of the lens. I hope this topic is clear. Do you have any doubt? You can ask and clear now itself. This is a summary points of the last class that we were discussed. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now we can discuss the next topic. The next topic is about the lens formula. All of you write the heading. Next topic is lens formula. Lens formula. This is our next topic, lens formula. So before moving into this lens formula, we can recall the mirror formula. We have a mirror formula. Did you remember the mirror formula, Rifa? What is our mirror formula? Yes, we have a mirror formula for both spherical mirror, for concave and convex mirror. What is that mirror formula? I think Arjun is ready to say the answer, right, Arjun?
That equation.
Yes, equation. What is that equation? Yes.
1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u.
Yeah, yes, that is the mirror formula. 1 by f is equal. So if you have a question that what is the mirror formula, you only need to write this equation. This equation is representing the mirror formula. 1 by f is equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Similarly, in the case of spherical lens, we have another formula which is exactly look the same, but there is a different in their sign. The lens formula is given by 1 by f is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So you don't make any kind of confusion. In the case of mirror formula, instead of this negative sign, we have a positive sign. But in the case of lens formula, it is 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. And all the other terms are same. Okay. All the other terms are exactly the same. So can you say what is F here? This is small letter F. Small letter F, not capital letter. So 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. What is this F represent here? Quickly recall the terms.
Focal length.
Very good. F is the focal length. Then my next question, what is the focal length? What do you mean by focal length? Definition for focal length? Anyone? Yes, Adidev. Focal length. Did you remember the focal length?
is focused.
No, that is principal focus. Focal length.
Distance between
Length.
Yes. It is the distance between.
Pole and principal focus.
Yes, it is the distance between pole and the principal focus in the case of mirror. But in the case of lens, instead of pole, we have optic center. So it is the distance between optic center and principal focus. It is known as focal length. And what is V? John, what is V? Can you recall what is V? It is the
Distance of
image
the image.
distance. Yes, very good. It is the image distance. Then what is U? U then? What about U? Very good. It is the object distance. Very good, students. So this is the lens formula. Lens formula is given by 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So when you are doing the numericals, you don't make confusions between the mirror formula and lens formula. First of all, you go through the question. The question is about the lens or mirror. If it is lens, you must use this formula. 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U, where F is the focal length, V is the image distance, and U is the object distance. Okay. So lens formula is given by 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. This is the lens formula. And where U is the object distance and V is the image distance. Is it clear? Can we move to the next topic? Before moving to the next, okay. Before moving into the next topic, we want to discuss some other terms also here about the focal length. Okay, so according to our mirror formula, we have, sorry, not mirror formula, lens formula, we have 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. We want to use another pen. Not clear here. Okay. 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U is our lens formula. And where F is the focal length, V is the image distance, and U is the object distance. Now, here also you want to note the point. Focal length of a concave lens. Can you guess what about the focal length of a concave lens? Is it negative or positive? Focal length of a concave lens. Yes, very
Negative.
good. Negative. Focal length of a concave lens is negative. Very good. It is always negative. Whether the concave is a lens, it is a lens or mirror, the focal length is negative for concave. Then what about the focal length of convex? Focal
Positive.
length, yes. The focal length of a convex lens is positive. So when you do the numericals, you must thorough with this idea. The focal length of a concave lens is negative and focal length of a convex lens is positive. So in your sometimes in your question, the focal length is given as 15 centimeter for a concave lens. But when you are starting to solve the problem, you must write f is equal to -15. It is not given in the question, but when you are solving the problems, you must put a negative sign if it is a concave lens, because concave lens focal length is always negative. Okay, when we are doing the problems, it is more clear. Can we move to the next topic? The next topic is about the magnification formula. The next topic is magnification formula. Magnification. Magnification formula for lens. We are discussing the magnification formula for mirror. Did you remember that? What is the equation for magnification? In order to calculate the magnification of mirror, it is represented by the letter M. Arjun, now it's your chance. What is the equation for magnification for mirror? Yes. Quickly turn over the pages and all. You didn't find it? Prajot, please help Arjun to say the answer.
Minus V by U.
Ah, yes. Minus V by U in the case of mirror. One more equation is there, Prajot. What is that? One more equation. The common equation for calculating the magnification. Yes. Anyone? Anyone is there? Aditya? Aditya Nair?
to h1 by h.
Yes. M is equal to h dash divided by h. H dash by h. Right? Here also we have one formula for magnification is the same. H dash by h. Where what is h dash? What is h dash? Aditya, can you help me to write what do you mean by h dash?
Image.
Yes, it is the height of the image. Height of image divided by h is,
Height of object.
yes, very good. Height of object. So here the same formula we can use in the case of lens. M is equal to h dash by h, where M is the magnification, h dash is the height of the image, and h is the height of the object. The same formula we can use in the case of lens also. There is no need to change the sign and all. In the case of mirror, we have M is equal to h dash by h. In the case of lens also, we have M is equal to h dash by h. And Arjun says that in the case of mirror, we have one more equation for calculating the magnification, that is M is equal to negative V by U, right? But in the case of lens, we have the formula for another formula for calculating the magnification, that is positive V by U. M is equal to positive V by U for the lens. This is the difference between the magnification formula for lens and mirror. In the case of mirror, we have two equations for calculating the magnification, that is M is equal to h dash by h and M is equal to negative V by U. But in the case of lens, we have two equations for calculating the magnification. One equation is same as that of the mirror, that is M is equal to h dash by h. But the second formula, instead of negative sign, here we have a positive V by U. M is equal to positive V by U. What is V here? V is the, what is V? Anyone, please help me to write. Image distance. Along with write, you can speak, no problem. What is U?
Object distance.
Yes, object distance. Okay. And here also we can use the values of M to predict the nature and size of the image. Okay. So magnification formula for lens is the same. M is equal to h dash by h. This is the first equation. And if in the present question, if the height of the image and height of the object is not provided, no problem. We have another equation for calculating the magnification. That is M is equal to positive V by U in the case of lens. Okay. Now, depending upon the values of magnification, same as that of the mirror, we can predict the nature and size of the image. That is, if M is positive, M is positive. What about the nature of the image? Quickly recall. If M is positive, what about the nature of the image? Yes, is it is real and inverted or virtual and erect? Why are you remaining silent?
Virtual and erect.
Very good. It is virtual and erect. It is virtual and erect. The same case here also. If the M is positive, then the image formed by the lens is virtual and erect. Now, I hope you speak now fast. If M is negative, M is negative,
Real and inverted.
yes, it is real and inverted. Very good. It is real and inverted. It is real and inverted images form. So this values are gives about the nature of the image, nature. Okay. Now we can discuss the case of what happens to the value of M is equal to 1. If M is equal to 1, what about
Same
the
size.
size? Very good. It is same size. If M is greater than 1,
And large.
enlarged image is formed. Enlarged. If M is less than 1,
Small.
small. Small or diminished. Small. Small sized image is formed. So this gives information about the size of the image. So depending upon the value of the M, we can predict the nature and size of the image. If M is positive, it is virtual and erect. If M is negative, it is real and inverted. Similarly, if M is equal to 1, we get the size, image size is same as that of the object. If M is greater than 1, we get an enlarged image. If M is less than, we get an image which is smaller in size as compared to that of the size of the object. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Now we have the next topic. Actually, all these topics are exactly the same in the case of mirror. That is why we can cover it easily. If you find it is very speed, you can remind me, then we can reduce the speed of the class. Is it very fast?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So the next topic is sign convention for spherical lens. Sign convention for spherical lens. Sign convention for spherical lens. This is our next topic. Sign convention for spherical lens. Students, in the case of mirrors, in the case of spherical mirrors, we are follows a set of sign convention. Did you remember? That set of sign convention is known as new Cartesian sign convention. And I hope that 5 or 6 points are there. Did you remember all that points? Just exactly the same like of coordinate system in mathematics. Did you remember? Sign convention for spherical mirrors. According to new Cartesian sign convention, I will start. The object is always placed on which side of the mirror?
Side.
Left side of the mirror. Here also, we have a set of sign convention which is exactly the same as in the case of mirror. So the first case is the same, that is in the case of a concave lens or convex lens, the object is always placed on the left side of the lens. Okay. Instead of writing the left side of the mirror, we place the object is always on the left side. I will show the Cartesian sign convention. So you don't need to copy down the lecture notes. I will give the notes. Okay. Now you just listen here. Then what about our second sign convention? According to the second sign convention, what is the second rule? The first rule is this: the object is always placed on the left side of the mirror. What is the second rule for the sign convention? Did you remember?
All distance parallel
Yes.
to principal axis
Ah.
are measured from the pole of the mirror.
Yes, very good. All the distance that is parallel to principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror, right? All the distance are measured from the pole because pole is lying at the center. So we are measure all the distance from pole. But in the case of lens, who is lies at the center? Is it pole? Who is lies at the center? In the
Optic
case
center.
optic center. So that is the only difference here. Here, all the distance that is parallel to principal axis is measured from the optic center. Instead of pole, we are measured it from the optic center. Very good. Then what about our third rule? Quickly recall the third rule for the sign convention. Anyone?
All distance measured towards the right takes positive value.
Yes, very good. All the distance that is measured towards the right is takes positive. Here also we follow the same rule. In the case of lens, if we measure the distance that is towards this right side, it is take positive. Then what about the fourth rule?
And the left side is negative.
Very good. The distance that is measured towards the left is taken the negative. Fifth rule. Fast, fast. Anyone?
Distance measured perpendicular to and above principal axis is taken positive.
Very good. The distance we are measured to above the principal axis is taken positive. What about the last rule? Anyone? Any other?
The distance that is measured below the principal axis take negative value.
Yes, very good. All the distance that is measured below the principal axis is takes the negative value. So here also we have sign convention for spherical lens. So in this case, instead of mirror, we have lens. Okay. And all the rules are the same. The object is always placed on the left side of the lens. Instead of mirror, we can write the object is always placed to the left side of the lens. Only this much. The second rule is the same. All the distance parallel to the principal axis are measured from the optic center of the lens. Because in the case of lens, here we not have the pole. Instead of pole, we are use the term optic center. So we can say all the distance parallel to principal axis are measured from the optic center of the lens. The third rule is the same. All the distance measured to the right of the optic center is take positive values, and all the distance that is measured to the left of the optic center is taken, that is along the negative x-axis, it is taken as negative. And then here the third and fourth rules are combined, that is why it is marked as 3. And then next rule, all the distance that is measured perpendicular and that is above the principal axis is taken positive, and all the distance that is measured below the principal axis is taken negative values. So these are the sign convention for spherical lens. These are the sign convention for the spherical lens. So actually these sign conventions are exactly the same as in the case of spherical mirror. Only we need to change the optic center. In the case of mirror, we are using the pole, but here we are using the optic center. Okay, so these are the sign convention. This is also introduced by Cartesian, that is why its name, otherwise new Cartesian sign convention. Actually, we are using this new Cartesian sign conventions when we are doing the problems. So if you are consider the object distance, you must put a negative sign. That is, object distance is represented by u, and the value, if the object distance is given as 20 centimeter, you must put a negative sign, because according to our sign convention, the object is always placed on the left side of the lens. and all the distance that is measured towards the left side of the lens is taken negative value. So you must put a negative sign for the object distance. Whether it is a concave lens, concave mirror or convex mirror, you must put a negative sign for the object distance when you are doing the numericals. Okay. Is it finished? You can say whenever you are finishing, you can inform it. Now we can discuss the next topic. That is the last topic of this lesson. Okay. That is power of lens. Power of lens. All of you write the heading. Power of lens. Power of a lens. Power of a lens is represented by the letter P. Power of a lens is represented by the letter P. And the power of a lens is defined as the reciprocal of the focal length. So this is the equation for calculating the power of a lens. What is the definition for power of lens? It is the reciprocal of the focal length. It is the reciprocal. It is the reciprocal of focal length. Power of lens is the reciprocal of focal length. Okay. So power of lens is represented by the letter P. P is equal to 1 by F, where F is the focal length, P is the power of the lens. So power of a lens is the reciprocal of focal length. It is the reciprocal of focal length is known as power of lens. Clear? The definition is there in your textbook, page number 183. Power of lens. Power of lens is the reciprocal of focal length and it is given by the equation P is equal to 1 by F. P is equal to 1 by F. If you are not remembering the definition, you just recall the equation. From that, you can state the definition. P is equal to 1 by F, where F is the focal length. So the power of lens is the reciprocal of the focal length. Then the unit of this power of lens, unit is diopter. Unit is diopter. And it is represented by the letter capital D. So instead of writing this diopter, you can use the letter D, capital letter D. It is representing the diopter. Okay. Then students, can you define what you mean by 1 diopter? We know that P is equal to 1 by F. We get 1 diopter. 1 diopter is equal to 1 by 1 meter. That is, 1 diopter is the power of the lens whose focal length is 1 meter. So what is 1 diopter? 1 diopter is nothing. It is the power of the lens whose focal length is 1 meter. This M for meter. If the focal length is 1 meter, we get the power of the lens as 1 diopter. So sometimes you maybe find a question is like this. Define 1 diopter. 1 diopter is nothing. We know that the equation of the power of lens, the unit of power of lens is diopter and focal length is expressed in meter. So what is 1 diopter? 1 diopter we get 1 divided by 1. That is, if the focal length is 1 meter, then we get the power of the lens as 1 diopter. Okay. So what is power of lens? Nas, can you recall what you mean by power of lens? Nas engaged on other matters, right? I think so. Prajot, power of lens. Yes, very good. It is the reciprocal of the focal length. Aditya S. Krishna, what is the unit of power of lens? Aditya S. Unmute and answer, right? Diopter. Very good. It is represented by which letter?
D.
D. Rose, equation for calculating the power of lens?
1 diopter is equal to 1 divided by 1 meter.
That is 1 diopter. My question is this, equation for calculating the power of lens. P is equal to
1 by F.
1 by F. Very good. Aman, can you define what you mean by 1 diopter then? What do you mean by 1 diopter? Okay. And Mary, what do you mean by 1 diopter?
1 by 1.
1 by 1. 1 diopter means it is the power of lens. It is the power of lens. Write the definition for 1 diopter. 1 diopter means the power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. So if a lens with a focal length 1 meter, then we get the power of lenses 1 diopter. So 1 diopter means the power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Okay. Now you need to note some points here. Some important points. Power of a concave lens. Power of a concave lens. Can you guess whether it is positive or negative? Power of a concave lens. Today is it information overloading? That is why you are silent. What is the power?
Negative.
Yes, very good. Because the focal length of a concave lens is negative. So the power of a concave lens is negative. It is always negative. Then can you guess what is the power of convex lens? Power of a convex lens? It is positive. Because the focal length of convex lens is always positive. Hence its power is also positive. Okay. So power of a concave lens is negative and power of a convex lens is positive. Okay. Suppose you have some multiple choice question like this. If a doctor is prescribed to a patient that to use a lens of +3 diopter, +3 diopter, identify the nature of the lens. What type of lens the doctor prescribed to the patient? What is the nature of lens the doctor is prescribed here? Is it is concave or convex? Yes, it is convex. Why? Because +3 diopter. The power of the lens is positive. If the power of lens is positive, the lens is convex in nature. Similarly, if the doctor is prescribed to the patient is -1.5 diopter, -1.5 diopter, then we can say what type of lens is this?
Concave.
Concave, because here the power of the lens is negative. If the power of the lens is negative, then it is concave in nature. The lens is concave in nature. So that's all about the power of lens. It is a small topic, but you can expect more questions from this. Sometimes you may be asked to calculate the power of lens and the focal length is given, and vice versa. Sometimes the power of lens is given and you want to calculate the focal length. So at that time, you need to change or rearrange the equation. That is, we know that the relation between the power of lens and focal length It is the reciprocal of focal length. So P is equal to 1 by F. Similarly, this equation we can calculate the focal length. F is equal to, what is the equation for calculating F from this equation? F is equal to 1 by P. F is equal to 1 by P. Sometimes the focal length is given and you may be asked to calculate the power of the lens. At that time, you can use this formula. F is equal to 1 by P. Clear? So I think today this much enough. Otherwise, it becomes an information overloading for you students. Okay. So we are discussing about the power of lens and what about the magnification formula and mirror formula. Okay. We can quickly recall the mirror formula. Savio, mirror formula, not mirror, lens formula. Sorry, my dear. Lens formula. Yes.
1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U.
1 by V minus 1 by U. Very good. Pratyush, magnification formula. Pratyush. Priya, magnification formula.
M is equal to H dash by H.
M is equal to H dash by H. Johan, we have one more equation for calculating the magnification for lens. What's that? Johan, are you there? No idea.
Negative V
Yes,
by
this
U.
one. Yes, very good. M is equal to positive V by U. M is equal to plus V by U. And then Aman, what do you mean by power of lens? Power. It is the reciprocal of focal length, and we can calculate the power of lens using P is equal to 1 by F. And what is the unit of power of lens, Vishnupriya? Unit of diopter. Then Adidev, define 1 diopter.
1 diopter is equal to
1 by 1. That is the power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. It is the power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Ashik, what about the power of lens for a concave and convex lens? Ashik is not here. Okay. Vishnu, what is the power of lens for concave and convex lens? Haya. Haya is joining first in the class. Haya, what is the power of lens for concave and convex lens? Rifa, I think Rifa is help me too. Rifa,
Starting with D only.
okay. What about the power of concave lens? Is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Concave.
Concave, negative, and
Yes,
convex.
power of
Positive.
concave is negative and that of convex is
Positive.
positive. All right. So I hope these topics are clear. With this, we are finishing this lesson, but we want to do the numerical. So we can continue with the next class. I hope all these topics are clear. Do you have any doubt? You can ask me. Clear it now itself. Any doubt?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So with this, we can wind up this today's class. Thank you all and bye. Have a nice day.
Yeah, ma'am.
Bye.